This is what we're doing now. We're just gonna make stuff up. We're just gonna be off the cuff. It's gonna be wild. And this is crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans, from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to say something profound. Like he's gonna drop the mic. He's gonna give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
Extra thought on it. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!
Larry bench press, 692 pounds.
The strongest man.
I still remember that. 692 pounds. When a man can bench press 692 pounds, that man can launch you. It's like going against a bear, man. I mean, he's just humongous. Man, he'll grab you, pick you up, and start laughing. And there's nothing you can do. It's like going against a car. You're trying to stop him, you're just sliding. I've seen him take linebackers, just drop him 20 yards. Not 5, not 10, 20 yards. And you go back in the huddle, that linebacker looking at you going, what am I supposed to do? Do the best you can. Do the best you can.
Everybody want to test themselves against Larry Allen.
Come on, man.
Bad man. Bad man. He's accountable.
In 1994, after 9 offensive linemen had already been drafted, the Cowboys selected guard Larry Allen from Sonoma State. He would never be overlooked again. Allen protected Hall of Famer Troy Aikman and led the way for the NFL's all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith.
Oh, look at that hole. Touchdown, Cowboys.
You got a guy like Larry Allen in front of you, he was like a wall. I mean, it looked like a stump. You couldn't move it. He was very patient, and he never made a lot of mistakes. You weren't going to have guys just run up in there going, yeah, I'm going to bullet rush Larry Allen. You never hear anybody say that. Did you bullet rush him? Oh, that never came in my mind. Bullet rushing Larry? No, you didn't bullet rush Larry.
No one teased the opposition better than John Randall did.
Hey, Charlie! Red Brown! J.J. Stokes! You cousin J.J. Walker?
But when he faced Larry Allen, Randall quickly learned to keep his chin strap tight and his mouth shut.
You didn't taunt him. You were nice to Larry. Give him a hand up, smile at him. Sometimes he smiled back, sometimes he doesn't, but don't get mad.
In the pit, only the strong survive. For 14 seasons, Larry Allen was a raging bull in those trenches, a force to be feared.
Nice job, L.A. Way to battle, big man. Way to go.
Larry, man, he is one of the most powerful men that ever played the game. Being able to take the pounding and come back and play. It's about pride. It's you versus him, and it's in the trenches. Larry's one of the great ones.
Good afternoon. I'm sitting on my back patio reflecting about one of the best offensive linemen I've ever played with, Larry Allen. And I get a call. My daughter, Skylar, called to tell me that he passed away. I'm at a loss of words right now. Such a good dude, great player, super person. And with deaths, bad weather, all kinds of things swirling around, lost my folks and other friends. It just breaks my heart. And I know life is very fragile, and we're only here for a moment. And we need to make the best out of every moment and not take people for granted. Pat sent me a text last night about not taking folks for granted. And here we are today. All I can say is live the life to the fullest that you can. Love those that are closest to you. Try to love those who are not near you as best as you can. Just cut out all the bickering, all the separation, all the hierarchy, and all the things that separate people, families, friends, culture, whatever you want to call it. Some of those things are very minor in comparisons to a human's life. The one thing about Larry Allen I know, he had a big heart, and he lived life to the fullest. A man of very few words, but on the football field was a beast, and will be sorely missed. And he's always missed because he never came back to any of our functions. I don't know if it's because he put football behind him and moved on, but my thoughts and prayers goes out to his family. My heart is just broken. I sit back here reflecting on Mark Tournay as well, Larry Allen, Frank Cornish, and we just lost another one about 6 months ago. Life. And it reminds me of the words that my mom used to say, son, keep living, you're going to see a lot of things. She's absolutely right. And seeing people come and go, it's hard. It really is hard. So, peace out. Love those around you. Hug someone next today and let them know that you love them. Call somebody today and let them know that you love them. And may God be with all of you. And pray for Larry Allen and his family.
All right. What's up, Cowboy fans? Man, I started the show out this way, man, because it's the topic for all Cowboy fans right now. When we lose the Hall of Famer, Larry Allen, and it was a rough day for a lot of Cowboy fans, especially the Cowboy fans who remembered when the Cowboys drafted Larry Allen. And first thing you said is who? Sonoma where? Where is Sonoma State? Where is that? But then you quickly fell in love with LA because it didn't matter where on the offensive line they put him, he dominated. I wanted to show you that first video with John Randall talking about just Larry Allen just dominating folks. I wanted you to hear from somebody else on the other side, because as Cowboy fans, we bias. We think he's the greatest offensive lineman ever. And I would argue anybody that he is. Any man that bench presses 705 pounds, squat over 900 pounds, and can play guard and tackle on both sides, and could have been a Hall of Famer at each position, to me, is the greatest offensive lineman of all time. So, hey, man, this is just the Cowboy Up tribute to Larry Allen. And say, man, we gonna miss this one, man. As a big offensive lineman myself, it was one of those things, man, I enjoyed watching, was Larry dominate somebody. And he did it. So, I always talk. Rue heard me say this a lot. I love nasty offensive linemen. When him and Eric Williams was on one side of the ball, I'm like this. You couldn't compare two offensive linemen in the NFL that was more dominant than them two until Eric got into his car accident and he lost a step. So for me, Dallas Cowboy Chris, I wish the Allen family well, and I hope they get through this. Rue, you got anything about the great Larry Allen?
Yeah, man. I mean, Larry Allen was an absolute legend. If Larry Bird wasn't already Larry Legend, it'd be Larry Allen who was Larry Legend, because Larry just did things differently than everybody else that you saw on the field. Larry was a wall. Larry could move too. Shannon Sharp literally said that man could have played left guard, left tackle, right tackle, and he would have been a Hall of Famer at every single position. That's absolutely insane. And what's really crazy for me, man, this dude's upbringing, his life before, when he was a child, he had a rough life, man. At 9 years old, he got stabbed like 12 times defending his little brother. In high school, he moved 4 times, went to 4 different high schools, didn't even graduate. And the fact that you go from a 2-year community college to then 2 years Sonoma State after taking a year off, you go to Sonoma State for 2 years and find yourself getting drafted in the second round by the Cowboys. 10th lineman to go in that draft. There was 9 mistakes in front of him. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I don't even have to know who the other 9 are, and I don't. I'm not going to pretend like I do, but the fact is, man, he did things differently than other people, and he was a good dude. The fact is, man, when he retired and everything else, like, the man was a good dude, family man, on vacation. Like, it's absolutely devastating what happened to him and his family, and I feel for him. But I remember the greatness of Larry Allen. I remember watching the 43 times he put up that 225. I remember watching him all throughout the hellacious years in the early 2000s. And the fact that, man, the man is a 6-time All-Pro. He's the 1990s all-time player, all-decade player, 2000s all-decade player. That's once in a lifetime talent. And especially at a position where, dude, he could move. I mean, I don't even know how many times I've seen the rundown against the Saints. I don't even know how many times I've seen that play. It's everything that he gave us was so wholehearted. And the fact is, man, he came from where he was and he never quit. He could have gave up at any point, but he always stuck to what he knew, and he stuck to what he loved, and he ended up being one of the greatest players to ever do it. And it's sad to see that he's gone, man, because he was an absolute legend, and he's a player that you never forget, and it's hard to replicate.
Man, I Will said, "Hey, Mike, how you doing, baby?" Man, when I watched Michael Irvin's YouTube today, and Michael Irvin said, when he talked to his wife, he said that her and Larry were just taking a walk on vacation. Larry said, "I need to sit down." She said, Larry sat down. Larry took a deep breath, and he was gone. And I was like, "Oh my!" It hit me so hard because he was just on vacation with his family, just enjoying the beginning of the summer, and the man just taking a walk with his wife and passed away. It was rough on me. I'm telling you, because my favorite offensive lineman of all time is always going to be Eric Williams. But Larry Allen is like 1A, 1B. You know, it's like that for me. You know, and the reason Eric is first because Eric came first. You know, and you know that's another thing. He should be in the Hall of Fame and the ring also. That's another story. But we talking about Larry right now. But just whenever the Cowboys needed him to do anything, Larry didn't complain. Larry just moved positions with ease, and he never skipped a beat. He never skipped a beat. And what offensive lineman in the league right now? I mean, just off the top of your dome, anybody. If you got a name, you can put it in the chat. If you want to join us today, I threw the link out a couple times. But if you know anybody that was as dominant and versatile as Larry Allen, hey man, I think I have something to argue about. Because hey, the beauty of YouTube and the beauty of DallasCowboy.com, you can actually go back and watch the old timers, and you can see. And you know, people, you know how we use the word great a lot. With the GOAT. Sometimes we give people these names before they actually deserve it. This guy deserved it well before he passed away. So, hey man, I just want everybody to know that, hey man, for the Cowboy Up podcast, definitely me and Rue, Armando, and Mikey, hey man, we do send our condolences to the Allen family. All right, man. I'm sorry. We had to get that out the way first, man, because hey, it's no bigger news right now in Cowboy football right now, and about the Cowboys, and then Larry Allen, and like I said, if you guys got something to say, you want something to you want to send your condolences, feel free, man. Hit the link, join in, and we'll be happy to put you on, and we'll talk about Larry. But until then, man, it's other things going on. In Cowboy land, the mandatory OTAs mini camps have started, and we got everybody in participation except for one person, and we all know who that one person is. Everybody knows CD Lamb was not going to be there. CD wants his money. This is one of those, man. You know, I've heard both sides of the fence about CD and him getting his money. Well, it's simple to me. When you let didn't he lead the league in receptions last year?
Sure did.
Didn't he have 12 touchdowns last year?
Sure did.
I believe he was probably 30 yards behind Justin Jefferson last year, about 30 yards.
No. He was only behind Tyreek Hill.
Right.
That is it.
I apologize.
Justin got hurt.
So the number one receiver in any stat except for one last year was CD Lamb. CD Lamb said on Michael Parsons' podcast the week after they got their butt kicked by the Packers, he wanted to be the highest paid wide receiver in the league. He said, "That's my goal." That's exactly what he said. So we all said on this show, CD is basically going to wait. He's going to wait until Jefferson signs. He's going to wait to what's my man for the Bengals? God, why is it slipping my mind?
Jamar Chase or T.
Chase.
T. Higgins. T. Higgins is up for contract.
Yeah, T. Higgins is up for contract. But you know, other than that, man, there's a debate. I mean, because those three receivers right now are 1A, 1B, and 1C. So the Cowboys is in the pickle now because I think this one is going to go for a while. What do you think, Rue? How long do you think this is going? Or no, the better question, Rue, is: do you think he deserved Justin Jefferson money?
That's what the market's going to bring, and that's what he's going to get. And yeah, he earned it, man. The fact is, man, he's gotten better every single year that he's been in the league. We went from questioning CD Lamb and his ability to be the number one for this team to solidifying completely 100% without CD Lamb, we're in serious shit. So yeah, he deserves that money, and he's going to get that money because talent like that doesn't just fall from the freaking sky. And he is upper echelon talent. The fact is he led in almost every category when it comes to being a receiver in this league. He finished on a team that finished 12-6. And yes, the playoff game is glaring, but he's a receiver at the end of the day. He's got to take advantage of whatever opportunities he gets, and what he got was few and far between for the most part. I've tried to block that game out of my mind, and I'm trying to think, was it him that dropped the ball on third down? I think it was.
Yeah, it was him.
I think it was him. So yeah, and like I said, I'm trying to eliminate that evil out of my mind at this point because that's the last taste I have in my mouth from this team. But it's hard to let it go. But he's proven what it takes to be in that spot, to be getting $35 million a year. And does he deserve more? No, like, let's not get crazy here talking 37, 38. Like, let's not get crazy, but stick him at that 35. It's not that far off from what Tyreek got. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Tyreek at like anymore? So it's 30 for Tyreek, wasn't it? I'm almost certain of it. But the fact is Justin's coming off a big injury also. It's not like he's just coming off some small minor injury. He's coming off a pretty serious injury that put him away for the entire year. So it all depends on how he comes back. CD can make the argument. I didn't get hurt. I haven't missed but a couple games. I'm here when you need me. And can the same be said by by Jetta? The biggest thing is, man, their quarterbacks are comparable number wise. If we're going to talk number wise, they're very comparable. So they've had the same kind of opportunity, and I'd say that CD has proven his worth, and I would take him in this spot. And to John, who asked, who would I have, CD or Jay Jetta? I'm taking Jetta, but that's not my option. So I'm going to have to go with CD on this one because that's the guy I can get. I'm not getting Jetta. But if you're asking me who I would rather have, yes, I would take Jay Jetta over him, even with the injury and all that. But that still plays a role in this whole thing because CD can argue numbers and availability because they're almost identical.
Well, I see Drew wanted to come and start trouble today, but I'm not going. I'm not. I wasn't going to bring up the comment, but I was like, no. This is an interactive show, whether I like the comment or not. Hey, Drew's an Eagle fan. Congratulations, Drew. Of you, 90 years of misery, 1 year of goodness. So I understand. That you think AJ Brown is better. Well, as I recall, a lot of games when y'all went 1-7, your last 8 games, I believe y'all were crying about AJ Brown not doing enough and not doing anything. Matter of fact, so if you think that 1-7 and AJ Brown was better than CD Lamb, congratulations, bro. But that's not true. Compare the stats, you can compare the play. It's just a biased opinion by you because you're an Eagles fan, and I should accept that, but it's not true. So
what's really funny is he really proved his own point. You're right. Your guy is a slot guy. My guy's an everything guy. My guy's an inside guy, outside guy, backfield guy. My guy's an everything guy. Your guy's just a slot guy.
That's basically it. So hey, like I say, we got plenty of time to argue Eagle Cowboys. That's fun. I enjoy, Drew, that you're here because I like, they like to tell us how delusional we are, but hey, okay. Okay, hey, I think y'all were, you were so happy your quarterback, y'all made it to the Super Bowl. He had an excellent game, and then the next year he shit the bed. So okay, whatever. Anyway, so in OTAs, man, today we started mandatory. Michael Parsons was there. We knew he was gonna be there because it was mandatory. I know all the people that was talking that, hey, why he isn't here on the voluntary, why he's not this now, why he's not that, and us included, because we were talking about leadership things with Micah. We just wanted Micah to be there because he is a leader of the Cowboys, especially that defense. And I heard something, man, today that I was just shocked. I was listening to the Jay Tuck, the CFO podcast, and Jay Tuck basically said on his show that Micah Parsons has talked to our new defensive coordinator maybe 20 words the whole off season. Does that sound strange to you, Rue, that the best player on defense really hadn't spoken to the brand new defensive coordinator? Would that concern you any?
I really hope this has nothing to do with Dan Quinn, because he had a real connection with Dan Quinn. He always talked very highly of Dan Quinn, and I don't know. You know what we've heard about Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer's a no-nonsense, on your ass, in your face kind of coach. We've seen that. We've heard that from the beginning. So is it that? Is he? This goes against everything that he said is really my biggest thing. It just straight up goes against everything that he said. He said he was going to be a leader for this team. He was going to be the example for this team. He was going to be the guy for this team. And now you hear things like this, and it's just like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Because now it's just embarrassing. Because it doesn't make sense. How you're either in or you're out, and the fact is, it's not technically your turn yet. We got one more year.
Exactly.
But, it's not your turn yet. It's just not.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I was just concerned about it, man. I was like, okay, he's there today, And we do got I think they said it was 50 days to training camp. So 50 days to training camp. They got plenty of times to talk and discuss, man. But I'm still on this leader thing. For me, it's just me. It may not be a concern for the Cowboy fans, but man, he is the man. It's some that say just like Tony Go Romo. Tony Go Romo say Michael Parsons is the face of the Cowboys, right? So if you're the face of the Cowboys, shouldn't the face still, be at everything? That's just my opinion. We always put it like this. Say if Dak wasn't there, and everybody know Dak is looking for his extension, but say if Dak didn't show up, man, do you know the dog pile Dak Prescott would get? do you know that the dog pile he would get?
It's different position though too. Quarterback is like, I can't imagine your quarterback not coming in. I couldn't see that happening. We might see it next year,
right?
We might, but with Micah, first of all, it's voluntary, right? So he's there for the mandatory. He's not trying to get fined or any of that. He's there for the mandatory. It was the voluntary OTAs that he didn't show up for, which I'm really not. That's all right. I know it's time and this, that, and the third, but it's not. It's more for the young guys for me. It's more for the draft picks for me. That time. You got the heart of the team kind of coming in at that point. Right. And this is the underwear Olympics anyway. This is just extra things that are happening for these franchises. It's not a big deal to me. It's just not. I might be wrong on that. Maybe you can take it any kind of way, but I'm not mad that D-Law wasn't there, especially our older players. I'm glad they're not there. I don't need them getting any kind of mess, any kind of situations in OTAs. Let's get to Oxnard. Let's do that whole thing, and then let's get rolling. Then it doesn't need to be this year-long media frenzy thing. I don't mind that he kind of.
But it's the Cowboys, Rue. You know how we draw attention to it. Dude, you know, they was talking about the NBA playoffs today, and then the second segment was the Cowboys. They talked about, dude, it was funny. They talked about CD not being there, they talked about Micah being there, and then they talked about Dak extension. This is what they talked about. Okay? They didn't bring up no other. Didn't the Chiefs win the Super Bowl last year?
And there's a lot to talk about with the Chiefs. The Chiefs got drama right now.
Exactly. But who do they talk about? And then the people sit there and say that the Cowboys aren't relevant. Well, who draw numbers on TV? The Cowboys. Why is Drew in the comments trolling? Because it's the Cowboys. You know? So, hey man, it's hilarious to me. But you know, it's just, man, we just newsmakers. I mean, the Cowboys make news. Okay. So when they talk about the Cowboys OTAs and don't talk about nobody else's OTAs, it's just funny, man. It's just hilarious to me. But you know, hey, I love the attention. So I got a question for you, Rue, because I heard this also. Because Booger McFarland was on First Take today, and he was saying the number one priority for the Cowboys should be Dak Prescott. Okay. And then of course Steven and Unc disagreed. They said Micah is the number one priority, then CD, then Dak. Your opinion, Rue, who do you think is the Cowboys' number one priority that we need to sign?
I really want it to be Micah Parsons. I really, really, really want it to be Micah Parsons. But the more I keep seeing this butter get churning, he's starting to show some tendencies of some things where it's like, dude, why? You know, you say one thing and then it's like it's something else, and the podcast and I so badly want it to be Micah Parsons because I know he's a generational talent. I know he's going to end up being one of those guys who could be the one that could lift this franchise to a different level. He did it in his rookie year when he came onto this defense. This defense was not very good before Micah Parsons showed up.
Yeah, he changed it.
It wasn't. He changed it. He changed everything about it. And the problem is, I feel like he's starting to read those press clippings. And it's like, bro, sometimes you just got to stay humble, keep your head down, keep going. They call this not for long for a reason.
Yeah.
People figure you out. And if you don't stay, like, you think about guys like generational guys like Jerry Rice, guys like, there's so, like, I mean, there's not a lot to choose from. These guys that come around once every 20 years, to be that guy, you have to consistently be working. It can't just, you can't just stop. Like, oh, I'm already. Oh my God. Why am I blanking out on this Giants name? They call him this all the time. The linebacker for the Giants. Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor. LT.
God, I always want to say Trevor Lawrence, and I'm like, no, Lawrence Taylor. He's already reading the press conference that he's Lawrence Taylor, and it's just like, bro, you're not there yet, not yet.
Right.
Like, pump the brakes a minute. And when it comes to CD, I just want CD to be signed for it to be over with. The money is what it is, man. When you put up those kind of numbers and do those kind of stats, it is what it is. And the fact is, he's our most versatile player, and we're very reliant on him on this offense. So he has all the leverage and all the chips in his corner. When it comes to Dak, I'm so torn when it comes to Dak because I see what he does and I see what he's capable of, and I see what and the fact is, everybody gives Tony credit. All I ever got from Tony was 8-8 seasons.
Right.
And losing at the end to the Eagles to watch, or to the Giants to watch them go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then you have Dak, who's coming off of 3-12-5 seasons. That's not nothing. Biggest win he's ever had in the playoffs came just a couple years ago against the Buccaneers. Got to give him credit for that. Does he get ate up by the San Francisco 49ers just a week later? Yes. But you know what? I don't see anybody else beating him either. So it's not like it's just this. It's a lot of other franchises would be glad to have him and to be glad to have the kind of success that we have had. It's just we have such a big microscope on us that it's like when we lose to the Packers in the first round, the way we did, especially, it just leaves this glaring like this is all I'm ever going to get from him. And that's where I'm at. I see the good, and then I'm like, this is really all I'm ever going to get. He's always had the pieces around him. He's always had one of the best O-lines in the league. He's always had good weapons, but he can't get it done when it matters the most.
Right.
And I've seen it consistently. I mean, 2-5 in postseasons, 9 years, 10 years in the league. Maybe this really is what it is, and this is what I have. And I know the argument, right? I know the argument. What are you going to do without him? And it's like, you know what, man? You have leverage. You haven't signed these guys. First pick in the draft next year for Micah Parsons. Can you, and I know we're going to talk about trade clause with Dak Prescott, but if you're really done with Dak Prescott and you could get first round pick for him, second round pick for him from a team that needs a quarterback, because there's still a couple left that would take him. And the fact is, trade clause or no trade clause, no quarterback is going to go somewhere they don't want to go.
Right.
So
man, I want to talk about what St. Louis Joe said. Okay. When the question was who's the number one priority, he said Dak, Michael Parsons, and he said trade CD. Now, Joe, you know I love you. We brothers to the end. Remember when we didn't have a receiver and we traded for Amari Cooper? You remember that?
Things changed.
That's the same thing if we trade CeeDee Lamb. Are we trading for another top receiver? Or are we just trading him for a draft pick?
And it's not like we drafted one. We drafted one in the 6th round.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Flournoy was a steal, but he's a 6th round draft pick. He's not ready to replace CeeDee Lamb. And when you really think about it, when you eliminate CeeDee Lamb from this offense, we're looking at Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin, Jalen Brooks. It's a short list. The short list of a lot of unproven guys. You know, Kevontae Turpin, and then you got your tight ends in Ferguson, Schoonemaker, and Hendershot. But it's
the Jalen's, the Jalen's and that's about it. I mean, to me, once you get a number one receiver, man, it's one of those things, man. I don't think you can let him go because they're so hard to find. Now there is a bunch of good receivers. There's a bunch of good receivers in the NFL. I mean, but when you get an elite one, it's kind of like when you get an elite quarterback or top 10 quarterback. You can't let it go. I just think, you know, because I remember, Rue, you brought this up earlier, that we had concerns when we gave CD the number one wide receiver role once we traded Amari Cooper. We didn't think he could do it. I personally didn't think he could do it, but he proved me wrong. So, you know, now since he's proved his thing, it's just I really hate talking about other people's money, but something Tua Tagovailoa said today: the market is the market. So if you got a problem with the market, you need to take that up with NFL CBAs and the league, because they set this market for these elite players. So if the Cowboys got a elite wide receiver and the market is what it is what it is. You got to pay him. It's the same thing that's with Dak. It's the same thing with Michael Parsons. You know, it's the same thing with CD. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us, Mike. Mike, I want you to talk about this too, man. This is what St. Louis Joe said when I said the number one priority to the Cowboys, and this is his comment. What do you think about it, Mike?
Whew.
Man, listen.
Well, yeah, way to bring you on, huh?
Yeah, you're on the spot. Well, big shout out to Joe. Thanks for joining and interacting in the comments. Thank you guys for having me once again. I like that Cowboy Up podcast right there. That is pretty beautiful there. But no, man, listen.
It is.
You have to keep CD on this team. You brought up a great point about, trading for Amari Cooper, and that CD Lamb is CD Lamb, right? CD Lamb is young. Micah Parsons is young. I want to build around young, all right? Dak Prescott, on the other hand, he'll be 31 next month. And where's the ceiling with Prescott? 12-5 seasons. Yes, we could factor in a lot of stuff that happened against the 49ers, against the Packers. We can talk about that, right? But where's the ceiling for Dak? Have we hit that ceiling? Where's the window for Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys? Was 12-5 3 straight years the open window for Dak, and the Packers and Jordan Love kind of just closed that window, right? So you have to look at it about young. You look at the divisional games in the playoffs. Tell me what quarterback was over the age of 28. Zero. Mm-hmm. Zero quarterbacks over the age of 28. You have to build younger, and you have to build around it. It's easier said than done. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys front office. But logically, you have to build around CD. You have to build around Micah. Dak Prescott, to me, and then this ain't about me being anti-Dak. This is just the reality of the NFL. Not for long. And Dak Prescott's about to hit 31. He's about to carry $40 million in cap money. Let's say you do extend Dak Prescott. Then you have a 37-year-old quarterback sitting on your – I guess it wouldn't be 37. Let me do math real quick. 35 going on 36-year-old quarterback with what's the dead money like then? Is it an $80 million dead money cap hit? And then are you going to be forced to sign a 45 or a 35, 36-year-old quarterback again because that's what the market is? No, it's time to turn the leaf now. The window for Dak has closed, and the 12-5 and got nothing out of it. The only team in the NFL to get 36 wins and not hit an NFC championship game. We got to turn the leaf.
So, okay, you brought up Dak, but you didn't tell me who was the priority. Which of these three are the priority?
Who's the youngest? I said that.
Who's the youngest?
Yes.
Is it Micah? Micah got to be the youngest.
Yeah, Micah. Those are the youngest out of the three.
Yeah, Micah is the youngest. Then CD, then Dak. So your priority is Micah first. My priority is CD first. CD first. Okay.
And then you know what? I think Micah Parsons can go, and I think we'll be all right. And that's just me.
we brought that up before. I actually said in on this show, I think we should trade Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. And I wouldn't mind it, dude. What Micah has become, it's rubbing off on me the wrong way.
And I know it's blasphemy to a lot of Cowboy fans that I said that. And I said it just because of his actions, and to me, I don't want to typecast Micah because I don't want to. I want to dog because I said this last year when I said I'm gonna stop dogging out LVE. Now I'm trying. I got my target on Micah Parsons all of a sudden. Remember I said that. Remember I said I was gonna stop.
I remember.
And I did stop. Okay. But the reason I got my targets on Micah is, we love to bring up Dak's performance in the playoffs and everything, and I bring up Micah Parsons' last 5 games and the playoff, where he literally disappeared, literally, and he should be the in the running for MVP on defense every year, and if you should be in the running for MVP every year, how do you disappear in the big game? That was just me. So to me, the priority to me, CD, Dak, Micah. That's my list. Rue, what's yours?
The haul for Micah Parsons could be something special. So I'm really, as crazy as that sounds, and as much as I love watching Micah Parsons play, you're right. Dak's not the only one that's disappearing in these playoff games. Where the hell was Micah Parsons? And we literally had his own teammate call his ass out, talking about they didn't run at me. They ran over to that guy.
That's what they said.
Seeing Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And if you're demanding top of the league money, like highest paid player in the league type money, which is what he's basically looking at, you have to make a difference. You have to be able to take over a game, and in a game against a team that matters. Yeah. You have to be able to absolutely take over a game, even if your offense isn't doing everything. I can't sit here and defend the defense in that game either, because they were non-existent.
Mike, what do you think about it? Is that even on your radar of trading Parsons?
Here's my problem with it is on my radar. I'm going to keep it funky with you. Here's why. 7 games, 2.5 sacks. I was thinking about this today in my office. If Parsons can stay consistent, the dude can break the single sack record easily.
Easy. Yeah.
Easily. But what happens with Micah is he gives up way too fast. When he sees that double team, he's done. When he gets chipped multiple times in a game, he's done. And what does that do? It wears them down. So when you get the youngest team in the National Football League in a playoff game, he's worn out.
And Mike, I got one question for you. Can we blame some of this on Quinn, or is this all on Micah? I'm just curious. I'm curious.
Dan Quinn. How do you run man coverage all year? That's your bread and butter. That's the good stuff. And then you go to zone and get cooked.
Well, I'm talking specifically about Micah's performances late in the season.
That's both, because it's both, because Dan Quinn didn't mix it up with Micah. They kept putting Micah on the right side for a whole game, and he's not getting a sack. Why not put him over the center? Put him in the A gap. Put him on DeMarcus Lawrence's side. Team DeMarcus Lawrence and Parsons up. We've seen that work effectively, right?
But every time they put him in the middle too, it seemed like he'd get through and get a sack or disrupt the play. Almost every time they put him in the middle.
That's what he did at Penn State. That was his bread and butter at Penn State. And so when you go away from that, and Micah doesn't want to change it up, or he blames it on Dan Quinn of not using the packages that he was supposed to use to move Micah Parsons. No, if you're going to be the leader and you want to be a leader on this football team, you have to override the coach. He's way up here in the sky box. What is he going to do? He ain't going to do nothing to the best player on the field.
He ain't going to bench him. Hell no. So
Rue, for them to step up.
So, Rue, do you think, in your opinion, do you think it was some Quinn, some Micah, or was it all Micah or all Quinn? What's your opinion on that?
Quinn is absolutely involved in this because he's the one who schemes up the plays. You have to be able to draw up plays for your best player on defense. You can't keep putting him in the exact same situation and hope that he just figures it out and overcomes the double team or overcomes this and that. And it's just like, it doesn't even make sense. When you have a guy like Micah Parsons that you could literally put anywhere. You can line him up on the right. You can line him up on the left. You can put him in the middle. There's literally nowhere on the field that you can put him. And I remember him bragging about how he was going to get a bunch of interceptions this past year. I don't know what the hell happened with all that. But you can even stick his ass in coverage. So
you don't do that.
Oh, no. But seriously, though, Mike, I agree with Rue on that, because remember his rookie year, he was in coverage a lot.
No. He did not play good. He played okay. He did okay. His speed messed up his errors.
Okay.
That's why Dan Quinn never put him back at linebacker after his rookie year. Watch his rookie tape. He had a lot of errors. His speed made up for that. That's why they never put Micah back at linebacker, but every once in a little while. I argue this on Talking Crazy sometimes because people want Micah to be a linebacker. I'm like, he can't play linebacker. He's not a Mike. He might be able to be a Sam, maybe a Will, but he's not a Mike, and he can't play every down.
But when they got him at Mike on passing downs, that's what Rue was just saying. He's disrupted.
What do you mean? How many sacks he get out of the middle? He got a few sacks out of the middle.
No. When he's rushing in the middle, but no. But you're still in your nickel
coverage
package.
Linebacker in the middle.
Yeah, you're still in your nickel package. He's just being their defensive tackle, a stand-up defensive tackle. He's not a linebacker at that point.
Okay, but do you don't think when he's playing the Mike, his performance declines to you? Because I think when he's playing the Mike and the Sam, he's at his best. When he's just playing straight defensive end, you could block him. I just think, because you know where he is, but when you move into the Mike, to the Sam, and you move him around, I think that's the best thing for Micah. And that's what make him the elite defensive player that he is. I think they do it in the beginning of the season, and then in the end of the season, it just fucking disappears.
I don't want Micah in coverage. I want Micah blitzing, but that's where it gets predictable. Because if Micah's going to be playing Will, Mike, Sam, he's going to be blitzing, because I don't trust his cover skills. I don't think he has the it to cover tight ends or slot receivers, or even shadow that coverage zone.
I think the only reason why that's true right now is because it's starting to show that he's not studying the game. Like, God, who was it? The old receiver that has the podcast from the Cowboys. What's his name? With the dreads, he was actually talking about.
Yeah. The one that won the contest, Michael.
Yeah,
Irvin's
he won the contest.
Jesse Holly.
Jesse Holly.
Yeah.
Jesse Holly was talking about how he doesn't want to be Fred Warner, and it's and how he's not studying the game and relying on his speed and this and that. And I get it, and I that's why I'm kind of hesitant on Michael right now, just because, damn, man, like, I really hope that he's continued on with learning this game, because it really feels like he's starting to rest on his laurels, and it shows in the big games, because he does get shut down in some big games, and I know he attracts attention, and I know he gives other guys opportunities, but damn it, man, it's some of this stuff is looking a little glaring, and I'm hoping that Zimmer can kind of get the best out of him. But it really feels like they're kind of in a funk too, because it's, what's he going to learn if he's not going to talk with this guy?
You want to know how you get the best out of Micah Parsons consistently?
How's that, Mike?
You only play him on second and third down. That's it.
A guy you're going to pay like $40 million to, you're only going to have him in on 2 downs?
Dude,
yeah,
what that's going to do, that's going to make him have bigger plays, and that's going to make him last longer and be more consistent. I'm gonna die on that hill.
I rather do this. I rather have him take say the first 3 plays of a beginning of a series off, or the first 6 plays, and then bring him in, then having him not play on first down, because a lot of the NFL now, the first down is a passing down, and if he's going to be our best pass rusher, I could see first and third. I can't see second and third. That's just my opinion. So, man, I don't know. I don't know, man. Micah is always going to be a hot topic for us, man. He really is.
I don't know how you're going to pay a guy top of the league money and not have him playing every down. I can't see that happening at all. Then he doesn't deserve that kind of money. If you're not even an every down guy or totally locked in, I'm gonna rely on you to do something on every other play or what have you, kind of guy. It can't work like that. There's no way. You're talking about a guy you're only going to use a handful of downs. There's no way that he's too high a caliber a player to get that done. I can't see that. You tossed me for a complete loop on that one, because I get making him last, and I get that he's smaller than most guys at his position, and I get the fact that he's that he seems to gas, and if you limit his touches, you might get more out of him. I see it, but he's not the type of guy that wants to even come out of the field on the preseason game, let alone an actual
That was his
game.
rookie year. Trust me, he's coming out of the preseason game.
Yeah, you won't
Maybe
even see him
now.
you won't even see him in
now.
preseason games now. Yeah.
Maybe now.
You won't hear an audio of him complaining.
Hey, I heard something today about in OTAs. They were talking about Tyler Guyton, and they was talking about BB not playing with the first teamers, being down where the rookies are. And they said, the coaches said the reason why is because they get more snaps that way. And to me, that's a bunch of bull. This is just my opinion. Because if he's going to be your starting left tackle, don't you think he needs to be with the ones all the time to get used to the other Tyler? And I just think it's a mistake when you do that. I know it's just OTAs. I know this is not training camp, but to me, every rep in the NFL counts. And I don't want him down there with the damn rookies. I want my number one pick starting and playing every down, every practice, because he's the one, because everybody's calling him the project. So what? Don't you think the project need the most work with the ones? Mike, what you think?
It's funny you say that. I don't know. I got to text back to my boss here. I put in a group chat that I have with my Talking Crazy and Freaky Friday guys about this exact topic here, because they've been doing this since OTAs.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just today in minicamp. This has been happening for how long has it been going on? 3 weeks, 4 weeks now?
Yeah,
and Brian Broaddus put on the radio that Cooper Beebe's running with the twos, Guyton's running with the twos, Thomas, the big guard they drafted later on, everybody that they drafted or their rookies running with the twos or threes. Mm-hmm. And when I sit back and I look at this, it's like, Michael McCarthy, do you realize your job's on the line? Like, who
is he concerned at all?
Like, you not realize your job's on the line,
right? And
I would want my younger guys getting that. He talks about camaraderie all the time, but he doesn't do camaraderie. Look at Michael McCarthy's offensive line since he's been here, dude. How many different starters have we had? Obviously, due to injury and rotation and stuff, but there's no camaraderie. And you get a fresh start on this drafting and investing in linemen. And Cooper Beebe, Tyler Guyton, they're running with the twos.
Yeah.
That's why your job's on the line, Mike McCarthy.
Rue, what you think, man, about our number one pick and our third round pick? I still say, hey, he ain't a center yet, but what do you think about them running with the twos and not up there with the ones?
I think it's early. I think it's really early. I do think it's weird that I don't remember this happening with Tyler Smith.
I don't remember that either. It was different head coach too. So
it was, but I don't remember that happening with Tyler Smith. I'm just saying.
Well, no, I take that back. You're right. Tyler Smith was, was Mike McCarthy. Yeah,
definitely was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yes, I'm thinking of Tyron Smith. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Tyron, not Tyler. Okay, yeah, you correct.
But no, but yeah. So I don't remember that happening with him. And when it comes to center though, I like Cooper Beebe. I like Cooper Beebe a lot. I think Cooper Beebe was a really, really, really nice pickup in the third, or not even the third. He was in the fourth. But I like him a lot coming out of Kansas State. All offensive lineman, Big 12 player kind of guy. Like I like him. But are we done with Brock Hoffman? I'm pretty certain that job's going to be a competition, and we're going to find out a little bit more once these guys go to Oxnard. once these guys go to Oxnard, we're gonna find out who's gonna get
put the
rotated
pads
in,
on,
and when,
yeah.
we're gonna put some pads on. We're gonna get out of the underwear. We're gonna you're gonna start seeing some fights and some hitting some people. But with the left tackle, are we going TJ Bass? Is that who's running with the ones over Tyler Guyton right now?
I don't remember. You remember, Mike, who was running with the ones?
I think it's Chuma Adoga running with the ones.
Adoga. Yeah, that's right. It was
Adoga's
Adoga.
still here.
Yeah, Adoga's still
Oh
here.
man, all right. I guess I didn't even realize. I thought he was on a 1 year.
They re-signed him this offseason.
It must be
one of the
ones I missed.
One of our big free agent signings.
That's one of the ones I missed. I didn't see that one. I was like, we've had so few. I usually see them all.
It just slid under the radar, Rue. It just slid under the radar.
You see the breaking news? Cowboys signed big free agent Chuma Adoga.
Yeah,
I thought. I knew they had re-signed him, but remember he's supposed to be the swing for both sides. Chuma, so I can see him going. I think they're just.
Says hello.
Nathan says hello.
Yeah, Nathan Thomas can be your swing.
You think Nathan is going to be the swing instead of Chuma?
Go. Have you watched his tape yet?
No, I haven't.
Do yourself a favor and go watch Nathan Thomas.
Okay.
He could potentially have a better career than Tyler Guyton. I think Tyler Guyton's a project player. That's just me. Nathan Thomas could be the steal of the draft outside of Cooper Beebe.
Okay. Well, there it is. Well, y'all, if y'all don't know about Cowboy Connie, he got that inside, man. He don't want to give up his sources, but he got that inside, up in Frisco, up at the Star, that's the Star. Yeah, all the way from Arkansas to the Star.
He got a little robot flying.
Crazy about that?
I believe that.
When I toured the Star, it was the day Jason went and retired.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it came out later that he retired. And I was with Tyson, the West Coast Cowboy. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Mm-hmm.
We used to run a Facebook page together, Dallas Cowboy Scouting, but we toured the Star together, and this was in 2018. Gary Brown, the late Gary Brown, the running back coach, was there, right? Lance Dunbar hasn't been with the team in maybe a couple of years. We're touring the Star. We get to that big podium in the middle where they go out on the practice field. They touch it, and they go out to the practice field. Gary Brown standing in front of this thing, right? Guess who comes walking towards Gary Brown? Lance Dunbar.
Okay, running back.
Me and Tyson, the West Coast Cowboy, we're like, is that Lance Dunbar? Why is Lance Dunbar? Is he trying out? What is he? It wound up being nothing, but we thought we had some inside scoop.
Just because he walked by.
Just because he was in the building.
Right. Well, look, hey, man, we started the show talking about LA, man, the Hall of Famer Larry Allen. Me and Rue gave both our commentaries on the passing of the Hall of Famer. Man, you got any thoughts on the great Hall of Famer Larry Allen?
I mean, you look at the person he is, right? Everyone that knows LA talks about the human being, and then the football player comes first, and that's just what he was, man. He's just a great guy on and off the field. Nasty grit, the best player to ever do it. Chasing that linebacker from New Orleans, tackling him. I mean, that's not even the highlight of what LA's about. There's so many more plays of him pushing linemen 20 yards down the field, playing left tackle, left guard, right guard, just all over the place. Just a phenomenal athlete. One of the greatest guys that I've been hearing, off the field, family guy. That's what I love about. Mike McCarthy talks about football and family. You look at the definition, Larry Allen's right next to that. And he's in the Hall of Fame. 2013, he was a snub. Should have been there sooner, but he's in. All right. And man, that's a Cowboy legend, man. That one hit hard. And, you the headline, you're like, what? No.
You just didn't believe it. You didn't believe it.
The guy never shook his hand, but what he did for what we love. That's the impact that he left on me.
Man, you know, this is how I can compare Larry at the news I heard. And some people can relate to this, some people can't. Rue, you remember when Kobe passed, and you know the reaction that people had when Kobe passed, right? To me, I was never a big Kobe fan. You know, I was such a Jordan guy, and you know, I was just like, oh man, that's sad. But I sympathize with the Kobe fans because they loved him so much, right?
Right.
It was the same way with me when I heard Larry Allen passed away. I was like, what? Wait, not my man, you know? That's how I felt, you know, because, you know, I know he wasn't the mega star that Kobe was, but for Cowboy fans, he was. He's the elite of the elite of the elite of the elite. He can't get no higher. Like I said, Mike, earlier before you got here, my all-time favorite offensive lineman is Eric Williams. And the only reason he is because Larry Allen came second. Because I was such a Eric Williams fan because he was nasty. He dominated Drew's man. He dominated Reggie White. He kicked his ass a lot. So, you know, I loved Eric Williams for that. But man, when Larry Allen got here, he changed everything, bro. He changed it. He changed how offensive linemen worked out. Man, their dedication. You know, man, you can tell, man, when you get in there and you bust your ass in the weight room and then you just perfect your craft, you can become elite. And that's what that man was. Elite.
He put the E.
Yes. So I heard this dude say every time he's on TikTok, he say, argue with your mama, not me. Because this is no argument here, bro. He's the best ever. Period. So hey, Rue, we got some final thoughts, man. We'll start with you, man. We'll go Mike, and then we'll end this tonight, man. So you got any final thoughts, man? Hey, matter of fact, I see the Mavericks on your chest, man. Man, congratulations to the Dallas Mavericks to make it into the championship. Rue, give me your final thoughts, baby.
You had to bring the Kobe thing up, man. That happened on my damn birthday. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget that day. I was at my nephew's jiu-jitsu tournament, and I look at my phone, and I was like, Kobe freaking died, bro. I was shocked. That shit killed me. But final thoughts, man. First and foremost, man, shout out to Larry Allen. Rest in peace. God bless you, your family, and your kids. It's still just it's terrible, man. 52 years old. It's too soon for anybody. So I definitely give my condolences to him and his family. That's terrible that happened to him. Especially as shocking as it was and as quickly as it happened. Aside from that, just paying my respects to Larry. Bro, my Mavericks are in the finals. It has been a great couple years for a Dallas fan. I mean, Rangers, Mavericks, you know, Stars almost did it, but dude, that kid out of Edmonton is a monster. And of course, Lady Longhorns are in the damn softball World Series, baby. It's been a good year for me, man. I really can't complain. And I'm hoping my football team can follow up with that as well. And I guess it's a little bit sweeter because Oklahoma won today. And if we win the World Series, we'll end their reign of terror because they've won the last two. It is what it is. Aside from that, when it comes to this team, man, I'm so nervous about this season. My attitude is completely different than it was last year. Last year, I was very confident we were winning the Super Bowl. Like, it was the first time in a long time that I looked at this team up and down, and I was like, I feel really good about this team's potential chances to win a Super Bowl, especially as weak as the division is. And you can't tell me it's not weak, because the fact is the Lions made it to the goddamn NFC Championship game. So you can't tell me it couldn't have been us. Aside from that, I hope there's a bigger plan going on behind all of this. I'm very curious for what happens when we get these guys in pads. I'm very curious what my offensive line is going to look like. That's probably my biggest concern right now. What is that even going to look like? Just because there's so many different pieces and so young of options in terms of what I'm looking at on that aspect. And sign my freaking guys already. Like, it's time to shit or get off the pot. Mike need to sit in the corner for a minute. It's not his turn yet. But when it comes to CeeDee Lamb, let's get the deal done. Let's get him on the board. Let's get it going. It's time to get that done with. The domino has fallen. Now it's time to follow suit and get his man his cheese, because all we've been waiting on is Jay Jetta, because nobody else is really relevant when it comes to CeeDee Lamb and the contract. That's really it for me, man. I want things to kind of start moving. I can't wait to see these guys in pads, and I want to see what it looks like when we start hitting each other a little bit.
All right. Hey, Mike, Cowboy Corner. Mike, give me your final thoughts also and plug your channel, please.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for having me 2 weeks in a row. I know I came on late, dude. I took me 2.5 hours to mow my dang grass and weed eat and I'll do all that crazy. But my wife goes, it looks like rich people grass. So,
he got the designs in that bitch too. I guarantee you there's lines in that motherfucker. You got lines in it. They're all diagonal and shit.
Rich people grass.
I like that. Rich people grass right there. But no, man, rest in peace to the greatest to ever do it, Larry Allen. My condolences to his family as well. I like the direction this team's headed. I'm not nervous. I'm just wait and see. And the first 6 games is going to be a true test of because you're going to get to see, these defensive coordinators are going to blitz the crap out of our young line. How do they respond? And so we're going to be able to see good growth and development. And so I'm really not nervous, even though, they didn't go out and get the free agent, that we wanted. But, Kendricks, that leadership, that veteran presence, that's going to be huge for that middle of the defense there. Parsons coming along, you look at the division, we could easily go 5-1 in the division. We can find 5 wins outside of the division. That puts us a 10-win team. That's very doable. Cowboys just got to go out there and execute. We can't be the most penalized team in the league no more. I'm tired of that. We can't have stupid mental errors. We're tired of that. And so, Zimmer, don't reinvent the wheel. Keep it simple. You know what you have here with this defense, and just keep it rolling. But that's all I got. Cowboy Up Podcast. Thank you for having me. Cowboys Corner right here on the tubes, _Cowboys Corner on the Elon Musk page. All right. I'm not blue check mark. They don't take my money. I have a rich grass. All right. I don't have Twitter verified.
Oh man, hey, y'all can always find Cowboy Corner, man. Mike is awesome, man. I do appreciate. Hey man, my final thoughts is this. First of all, for everybody who joined us today, man, we do appreciate you. I do. I appreciate everybody that's been in the chat all night, man. They've been having some battles in the chat tonight, man. It's fun just reading it all and everything like that, man. Thank y'all for participating and everything like that. Now, if you guys aren't a regular subscriber to the channel, please subscribe. Please like us. Hey, man, it really helps us out. And then hit the notification, man, because we do this every Tuesday. And then we do recap shows after Cowboy games. Okay. So, hey, man, join us, man, on the Cowboy Up Podcast on 2:00, man. I think it's going to be a real treat. Right now, we're in our OTAs as content creators, as podcasters. We're doing this, man. We're in our off season. We're trying to get better for you guys for when the season starts. So when the season starts, we'll be in rare form, man, so we can talk and discuss our favorite team, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. But my final thoughts is this, man. I was sad, but I'm better today because, as Emmitt Smith says, man, if you got a loved one or even somebody that's a distant friend, man, it's okay to give them a call, tell them how much you love them and care, because you never know what tomorrow brings. So, for me and the Cowboy Podcast, I love every one of y'all. I love every one of y'all. And, man, I want y'all to know, if I never said it to you, I'm saying it to you now. The big fella love you, and I hope you love me back. and I hope you love our content. So as always, man, it's like this. It's always Dallas Cowboys for life, and we will see you next time. Peace.
This is what we're doing now. We're just gonna make stuff up. We're just gonna be off the cuff. It's just gonna be wild. And this is crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans, from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to say something profound. Like he's gonna drop the mic. He's gonna give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
I trip out on it. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey. Drop some bars to my pussy.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!